Good day. This is the Gaming Aztec. I'm here for another video. Today we will be talking about what are my thoughts and opinions and ideas for Xbox next potential acquisition. For Xbox next acquisition, let's just get those sure not to be acquired out of the way. Like for example, Ubisoft, they are not going to be acquired by Microsoft or Xbox because they sold their cloud gaming rights of Activision games to Ubisoft. So if Microsoft tried to acquire them, that will be another legal battle, or especially a legal battle that they will lose for the regulators. Next will be big publishers like EA, Rockstar. It is a no-no since, again, regulation. I'm not sure about WB games since WB, if for example Discovery will sell WB, I think they want to sell it as a whole, but and I don't know if Xbox wants to buy WB as a whole or they just want to buy the gaming division. So as of now, let's not talk about those big publishers. And you can, if you will see, I did not include any Japanese publishers or non Europe or US big publishers, since I think the regulations or the legal aspects of trying to acquire big publishers from other countries is has a different metric compared to Xbox acquiring another publisher like Rockstar and EA, since they just acquired Activision Blizzard King. For when I think they will try to acquire new studios. For small studios, we don't know. They can just acquire it anytime, especially if the studios are non-publicly traded. Maybe, for example, People Can Fly or Larian Studios. Since those are not publicly traded, Microsoft can acquire them anytime. Maybe we don't know. Maybe they have deals or they have talks behind the scenes and they just want to wait for a certain time to announce it. Unlike unlike the studios that are publicly traded, will have to go regulatory process and approval, especially now that Microsoft still has a pending case with the FTC. So I think it will be not yet. I think they will wait after this year's US election whether there will be a new president for the United States or not, or will Lina Khan continue to have her position in the FTC? We don't know. So, as you can see in the screen, my first line of thinking is try to buy up some parts from the Embracer Group, since we know that Embracer Group is having difficulty today, financial difficulty, even though we don't have any news of it recently. Maybe they just form partnerships with Microsoft or other companies. So, for example, in buying parts from Embracer Group, I would like to suggest, for example, THQ Nordic, because THQ Nordic made plenty of good games before, like the SmackDown games, WWE SmackDown, Know Your Role, and the SpongeBob games, especially that Microsoft needs more kid oriented games, those family oriented games, since let's say Western shooters, Western RPGs, action, Microsoft has those already. What Microsoft needs is more friendly content, not necessarily friendly, child focused content or family oriented content like those of Nintendo titles. So I think my suggestion or my opinion is THQ Nordic is one. Saber Interactive can be because I heard they make great games. I know that there's a problem with Saber Interactive and Aspire using the about the Star Wars KOTOR remake. So will it be it will be a big news if Microsoft acquired Saber Interactive and the subsidiaries under Saber then they announced that they will be continuing the KOTOR remake, which aligns with the original KOTOR, which is an Xbox original exclusive. So actually, there are many studios that Microsoft can buy from Embracer, bits and pieces. Maybe they need support studios or whether it is studios itself. It depends on what can they deal or what is their agreement. But for me, I will not suggest Gearbox since Gearbox is just famous for one game, which is the Borderlands series. Even though it's a good game, it's famous game, it's just one game. Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal is a must since they are currently working on Xbox titles. So I hope that at the background they were silently acquired or have been acquired. So other than having buying more Western style studios, I am I am thinking that Microsoft should focus on acquiring, for example, Japanese companies, Chinese companies, Korean companies, or any gaming company outside of the Western market, which is outside of Europe, outside of the United States, since they already have that part of the world covered. They have so many studios that is focused on or based on that part of the world. If Microsoft or Xbox is really serious to garner 3 billion or billions of players, they should have studios from all around the world, which I know that they have partnerships via their ID at Xbox, but would it be dope that Microsoft really owns a certain company from a certain country? For example, let's just say they own Sega from Japan. At least they have a foothold on Japan, or they they bought NetEase from China. But it depends because China, Japan, and other countries have different regulations when it comes to acquisitions. Unlike the Western world is more open, but it's harder for Western companies to acquire Japanese, Chinese, or Korean companies because of their regulation. Unlike if you're like a Sony, like a Tencent, it's easier for you to acquire US or Western companies since Western regulation and business is more lenient, unlike Asian or Eastern companies. Eastern regulations is more protect more on you're more strict, or they have a certain term that they are saying protectionism, which is I'm sorry if I'm wrong. So let's just let's just say that Microsoft can find a deal or can let's not talk about the regulations. Let's say that they can pass through regulations to acquire a certain company. In Let's go first to Japan. For Japan, we have, for example, if they don't want to buy a publisher right away, I think they can buy, for example, like Platinum Games. Seems I think Platinum Games is not a public traded company, so it's easier for them to buy Platinum. At least Platinum, they have an additional studio for in that is in Japan for them to produce more diverse content. If they are thinking about something else, there is also level 5. No, let's see, where's level 5. Yes, level 5 is also a gaming studio which is famous for the games of Nino Kuni, Inazuma 11. Even though this are, let's just say that this is a niche company, or lately they are more closely linked to Nintendo. If they were to have a deal, I think Microsoft can swoop in and get them if Microsoft really wants to have a presence in Japan. So if let's say Microsoft will not be focusing about on studios, I think another option is to get in contact with Hideki Kamiya or Shinji Mikami to partner up if they want. They can tell Shinji and Hideki to make their own studio or own studios, so that, especially, both names are very famous in the Japanese video game industry. Like when they partner up with Hideo Kojima for the OD game. For publishers, there are a couple of options. There are in Japan, there is, first of all, Capcom. I think as of now, Capcom has said that they are not interested in selling and they want to be an equal partner for Microsoft. So as of now, we will not consider Capcom. For Toei Company or the gaming division, which is Toei Tecmo, the 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 problem is with Japanese publishers is the gaming company is is not just a gaming company. It's more of an entertainment company, which is like Bandai Namco, like Toei Company. They are not only publishing and developing games, they are also in the anime business. There are also other businesses that they are into it. It can be Microsoft can try to buy Toei Tecmo, but it depends if the company is willing to just sell off their gaming division. While Toei Tecmo can be, because they are famous for the Dynasty Warriors, the Orochi Warriors, and there is, I think under them is Team Ninja, the ones who made Wulong Fallen Dynasty. There's also Firm Software, but I think Firm Software, since Sony has a stake in Firm Software, I think they will decline or disapprove a sale to Microsoft, since Microsoft is their direct competitor. But since Microsoft is focusing on the gaming market as a whole, they want a company that has it all, that has mobile, that has PC gaming, that has console gaming. I think the two best options to buy in Japan if they want to have a foothold on it should be three if you will include Bandai Namco. But since Bandai Namco is the biggest company, no, not the biggest gaming company in Japan, what I mean, I think that will be unlikely. So I think the company that is, I think, more than likely that will be acquired or to be acquired by Microsoft is whether it is Square Enix or Sega, because Square Enix and Sega has all the things that Microsoft needs or wants in an acquisition. Square Enix has the Final Fantasy games, the Dragon Quest. They also have their own game engine. It is named Crystal Tools. They also have online gaming like Final Fantasy 6 and different they also have a mobile division, but it is not mentioned here, but from the information that I have searched, Square Enix has a mobile division which is going to help going to help Microsoft in their endeavors to proceed with the mobile gaming market. If not, if not them, it is like what I said. Where's Sega? Sega. I was not able to pull the Sega. So whether I think Sega is another option or the most likelier option, since Sega has all what also Square Enix has. They have they bought Rovio, a mobile gaming developer. They have they have many great IPs. They have great catalogs of games, whether it's a backlog or they also have Sonic, which is the mascot. But I think Sega being bought by Microsoft is more of a challenge compared if they were going to buy Square Enix, since Square Enix is a lower company compared to Sega, but Sega has a greater hold in the market, and they they just announced, I think I heard it last year, that they have separated their gaming division from their other divisions of the company, so it's easier for Microsoft to acquire them if they wish. And they said that Sega and Microsoft have a great relationship ever since. And people are saying that Xbox was the successor of Sega Dreamcast, which is that is also included. And their partnership is very good, and that some of those Sega games like Persona 3 Reload, which I will be playing, that will be released on February 2, is coming to Game Pass. The different Persona games like the Yakuza series, the like a Dragon, the Ishin game, the Man Who Erased His Name. Too bad Infinite Wealth was not going. It's not going to Game Pass, but the value itself and the games that they have already launched. I think the retro games that they plan to remake or remaster will also be included. So for me, I think my likely option will be Sega or Square if they are going to buy a publisher in Japan. But I think they should also stick to buying with smaller studios just to but if they were really going to get a publisher, I think Sega and or Square are the most likely candidates. You're thinking, why did I not mention Konami? I think Konami, even though they have good IP like Yu-Gi-Oh, like the Castlevania games, like what else is here? Coden, Silent Hunter, the Metal Gear series. They have good IP, but the problem is Microsoft wants studios with IP and mobile gaming. They want to buy companies that are a whole in one package like Activision. They want That's what they're planning as of now. But let's just see. We don't know about it if that's the case. So there are other companies, whether that's just in Japan. There are also companies, for example, in China. These are the top 10 gaming companies in China, but I know that China is more strict. For Korea, there are also games from Korea's like Smilegate, but I think Smilegate is also a movie developer, so I'm not sure. But just see. So I that's my point. I just wish that even though Microsoft just bought Activision, they don't stop. They put their pedal to the metal to continue investing, partnering up, or if they need to acquire, I suggest they acquire it immediately, because I think acquiring certain companies have has more advantages mm, than just basically partnering up or having a deal, since at least you will own everything, the IP, especially if you have money to use. So again, I think I will stop the video now because it's more than 20 minutes. Thank you very much. And I will be streaming the developer direct for I will watch it and give my reaction while watching it. I hope that you will all enjoy the video. Thank you. Subscribe, leave a like, share, comment. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.